talk to any women there?
Oh,
Way to
hello!
intro.
Hold on, give the context before
Way
you do
to
the
intro.
Before you do the
Hello!
intro, because they're probably
Way to
wondering
intro.
why he said that. Give the context. Do the hello and then give the context.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. We are back. We're better than ever. It was a nice break. There is so much shit flying around in the Detroit sports scene right now that we had to make a whole show to talk about it. But don't worry. Yes, we are starting off with our very own Detroit Lions. I'm excited. All right. Yeah, it got, with the Lions loss and then the shitty Super Bowl and all that, it got a little down. It was a little downtrodden there for a minute. It was downtrodden. But guess what? We're refreshed. We're ready to fucking go. I couldn't be more excited if I tried today. All right. I got two co-hosts with me. To my right, it is the one and only, back and better than ever and excited to be here. It is Uncle Sam.
Hello.
To my left, it's none other than our very own Mr. Zolo, Mike Pelazzolo.
Duval.
Oh God, you had that one in the hip pocket for that long. That's awesome.
I say it all the time. Duval.
Behind the computer, Bruce, come in.
Come in.
I want in me. Go to me.
Oh, you want
me?
Okay.
Behind the computer. Fresh off of a flight from Maui, where he had massive adventures that one day he will write a book about. And in regards to what Uncle Sam was talking about, quote unquote, did you get any women while you were there?
Did you meet any women?
Meet any women? Which we need the answer to when he introduces himself. Our producer, if you could call him that, it is Bruce, the tugboat Venditti.
Aloha.
Malhalo.
Take that hat off and show everybody your head.
How about
Bruce did get a new haircut. I learned what a skullet is today.
What's
me
the
see
skull
that.
at?
It was a joke, and
Let me see. You don't have to go on the camera. Oh, that.
There we go. Turn it around. Turn it. Do you see
have
how
to see
red?
my bald
Do you see how
spot.
red the bald spot is? It's so burned
You gotta
right
put some
now.
sunscreen on that.
His bald spot's medium well at the current moment. Bruce, the people want to know: were there any ladies in Hawaii for you?
there were no ladies in Hawaii.
Ah,
I mean, I met a new woman. It was Christopher's friend, but
Anything
That's about it.
transpired?
Who went to Hawaii? Start there.
Did you make out with anybody, Bruce?
no, I didn't.
No?
So was it you? Who, did the whole Venditti family
Besides
go?
some dude.
So
I'll ask you because you know.
Christopher-
And you know how to talk. You know words.
Christopher's lovely female.
Yes.
Has some sort of residence in Hawaii of some sort. So they all went together. It was a Venditti trip. It was Joseph, Bruce, Joseph's lovely lady, Christopher's lovely lady. Correct?
Just the five of you.
And Shree.
Who's Shri?
Shree is Christopher's friend.
And
Lily's friend.
female.
Female.
Shout out to Shri. I thought you were talking about Tanindar for a minute there. Anyways,
She's from Bhutan.
from where?
Bhutan.
It's Southeast Asia.
Is that a country?
Yes,
Yes.
it's a country.
There's a country called Bhutan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bhutan?
Yeah, that's what I went to.
Yeah. No, it's with a B. It's not with a P, and it borders China to the south.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I have a big question for everybody in
So
the
you
room.
went with two single chicks and didn't talk to either one of them?
No, one single
one
chick.
single chick.
Oh. Christopher's girlfriend's friend?
Correct.
Did you talk to her?
Yeah, I talked to her.
She hot?
Chatted her up, Bruce?
She's not bad.
Oh. Where does she live? New York?
Very pretty.
New York?
Yeah, she was in New York.
How old is she?
23.
Oh.
It's a match made in heaven,
Little
Bruce.
younger than
Bruce,
you.
what are
She
you
smoked
doing?
Dope.
It's the best
You
news I've
smoke
had all
dope?
day.
She's cool. That's all I got.
She smoked dope? Yes or
He
no?
said she's cool, which means she
doesn't-
smokes dope.
She doesn't smoke. She doesn't drink.
Oh, then she's not
Bruce,
your type.
were you
All
able
right.
to find any? Were you able to find any marijuana in Hawaii?
No.
No.
I'm sure you could.
So when's the last time you smoked dope?
Today?
Today.
A half
About
hour.
an hour ago.
Wow, you must have been real. You must have been real ornery though.
No, I brought some with me.
Oh, that's...
You can fly with dope.
Usually, yeah.
No shit, eh? Wow,
Usually.
I didn't know that.
In the United States, yeah.
I guess it's not international. So
In the United States, yeah. When you see a dog
Yeah.
they're looking to hit a lick.
Yeah.
The dogs are looking for you to
A
be
kilo of
moving.
cocaine
Yeah,
or some shit.
exactly. You could even get away with sneaking like a little dime bag here or there in your bag. You know,
A
maybe
dime
some
bag?
maybe some Fent.
Is there such thing anymore?
Yeah, but there's little 8 balls.
Never
Little 8 balls.
Oh, right where we left off. Uncle Sam, for the last month and a half. Well, no, about a month, right? Our last show was what, February 20-something? It's been about a month.
Yeah, I mean we'll call it 6 weeks.
For the last month, how have you been? What were the high points and the low points of the
I
last
worked.
month for you?
Unlike you guys, I work.
Unlike who?
You, Bruce, Zolo.
Oh, whatever. I was gone for a
Whatever,
week.
I don't fucking
Whatever.
vacation. I don't do. I work. That's what I do.
Jack is in the chat chiming in. He says to fire Bruce. That is always on the
Absolutely,
table.
I'm all for that.
That is always
You know
on the
what?
table.
Fire me.
You
Fire
want to
me.
get fired?
Tell me to
Every
get
time
the
we bring
fuck
this
out
up,
right
he
now.
says he wants
And I'll
to be
leave.
fired.
Your head looks good.
Anyway.
Something has changed about Uncle Sam
Oh, God.
since we came off air. The beard it was a extreme makeover beard edition situation going on here. You lost half of it,
Reconstruction.
but the length is getting good. Tell me, I need to know the thought process that went into this.
Not there.
Are you going to just keep
It
going?
needs to hit the middle of my chest.
So you want it to
I
sit
need
in your
about another
cleavage.
6
What?
inches.
It's going to sit in your cleavage. Everybody says that.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day,
restriction.
what made you get rid of?
Just my face. I just needed
Uncomfortable for some regular.
breath of fresh air.
What do you mean?
Needs it. Your skin just gets dried out. And
I hear Bruce over there chatting to himself. Did we get kicked off TikTok?
You know what?
It was okay between the kilo of cocaine,
Oh, probably,
the dime
yeah,
bag,
that's probably
a little bit of Fent. I'm sure that's what did it. So shout out to YouTube.
How do they know?
They just know, man. They
Can you
just
go?
know.
Can you go back live again?
who even
I think
cares?
we are
Keep
live. We
playing
are
with fucking
still
TikTok.
live. I think.
Fuck-
Chinese.
Fuck TikTok.
Listen.
Chinese knockoff. What?
So you don't have anything else to report
No,
other than the fact
I've been
that you
working,
worked.
dude.
Nothing as good has happened in
No.
your life.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Zero.
Zero.
You didn't pick up any hobbies while we were gone?
No.
Did you cook anything good?
Oh, it tells us right there.
That's it.
What does it say?
It says for talking about drugs.
That'll do it. Zolo
I made corned beef for the first time. I've done
on
it.
St. Patrick's
Did
Day?
you?
Yes.
You did.
How'd it turn out? I went down to the bread
pretty
basket
good.
downtown. There's a bread basket.
I slow
location in
cooked it.
Jefferson.
Put it in a slow cooker.
Did you? So did it
Yeah.
shred?
I went bought the hunk, did the whole thing. It's already marinated. So basically, you just rinse off the bullshit on it, the marinade on it.
Yeah.
Because it's injected. You throw it in a slow cooker and put some cabbage in there. Actually, you know what I used was coleslaw.
No
I used about 3 bags of raw coleslaw. You put it in there. You let it cook for about 2-3 hours. In that last hour,
What did you put in it?
coleslaw.
Coleslaw?
Coleslaw.
Coleslaw.
Yeah. What are you laughing about, asshole? Huh? Coleslaw.
It's coleslaw, not coleslaw. Clalvin.
My tongue is still fucked right now
Why?
because that twisted tea dealing with my.
It numbed your
nerve
tongue
damage.
up?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go. From now on, if you
Anyway,
get some tooth pain, you need to drink some
I did
Twisted
that
tea.
for the first time. I've never done corned beef before.
Would you do
Real
it
corned
again?
beef. Yeah.
Jack in the chat.
Yes, I would.
Coleslaw.
Anyway,
Zolo, your high points, your low points, your pits, your peaks from the last month. Life update. Give it to us. Go.
Well, I have a new job. So improved on that front. I kind of had time off. I had 4 days off. I didn't do anything with it. I was busy the entire time. I'm still very much due a vacation, which I will take in due time.
hey,
Um,
hey, are you blown right now?
No,
You look blown.
No, he doesn't.
No.
just always tired.
Oh,
Not blown. I've never done this show high before.
okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Bruce
I
does
can't
every
go
time
out.
we
I
do
can't
one.
go out
That's
in
why
public.
I asked.
That's just in general.
No, I was just looking at your eyes. It
Hold
looks
on.
different.
Zolo's marijuana usage is just like a pre-bed ritual, as
Oh.
far as I know.
It's like a
There's
gummy
some,
then.
There's some leisure. Like there's definitely some leisure, but it's not going to be in the daylight because it's got to be in the dark, like amongst front. Like
Dancing in the dark.
there's a time and a place. No, to answer your question, no. But I'm back to my old job, which I haven't done it today. There's a lot of drinking at work at this point. Like I'm back to drinking at work because I have to drink at work sometimes. So I'm trying new wines.
Testing products and
Yeah,
Okay.
never beer, but mostly like liquor and like Thursday I tasted like spontaneously. Like I'm working and I'm not even running the liquor anymore. I'm doing other things, but spontaneously I tasted 4 different bourbon barrels in an hour. So that's like I'm shooting bourbon for an hour.
That's not a bad job, is it?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
That's
it
a
is.
pretty fucking good
would
deal
agree.
there.
That's Garrett's ideal job.
And you're
You know,
right
you
next
know
door
who
to
would do
Tally's.
that
Go
good?
get
My
something to
wife.
eat.
Your Aunt Laura, man, she drinks alcohol like
What does she drink?
wine, booze, wine,
Tequila?
both.
I'll send
Oh,
you
yeah.
back with a bottle for Aunt Laura.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, she her go-to is the things I used to get at Cantoro's, the big bottles.
The sangria.
Paisano. And,
We should do a show from
what
Cantoro's.
is it?
at
The
some
Carlo?
point.
It's
The
Carlo
Carlo?
Rossi? Carlo
Huh?
Rossi? Or,
Yeah.
or
Carlo
there's,
Rossi.
there's also, what's the
It's
one?
it- no, it
Franzia?
comes in the gallon.
Franzia. Yeah, Carlo Rossi comes in the glass gallon. They're the only ones that are
Correct.
still doing it. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Listen to me. If I told you how much of that should I buy you free,
I got customers that buy
I do
that.
like 4 or 5 bottles a month.
I got
Gallons?
customers that buy it like crazy.
Yes,
A gallon a
she's
week?
the only one who does it.
Wow, that's awesome. Good for her.
Yeah.
Keeping the blood pressure nice
Yeah.
and low. Okay, new job. What else?
New job. I've been playing, I got a pickle coach.
You have a pickle coach.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a pickle coach.
Yep. Shout out to Coach Jack at Bash. I got a pickle coach.
What is Bash?
Okay, so
Is it a pickleball club?
yeah,
He's in a pickle club.
So around here, there's only 2 places to do indoor pickle. I mean, there's subtle ones, like there's some churches that have it, but there's 2. So we play mostly. There's the dome behind Ray Latham on Mac.
Oh, the Mac.
It's called Court 4, where Fox used to be.
Yeah.
where
yep,
Fox
yep,
used
yep,
to be.
Yep.
So we play there, but there's a place that's actually dedicated to pickle just north of the Tech Center. It's in between Mound and Van Dyke on 13. It's called Bash, and it's like Pickletopia. Like
It's a pickle emporium.
yeah, it's Court 4 in Grosse Pointe, or it's in Detroit technically, but Court 4 is mostly tennis. And then they tape the pickle lines on, and you're always
Got it.
fighting for courts, and it's cold in there. It's a dome. Bash is like an old warehouse that was converted into 20 pickleball courts with pros, and they have equipment there. So I go to a couple places, but yeah, like we've upped our pickles become like an investment now. Like it's become my personality. It's a lot of fun.
You are the pickle.
Yeah, and I'm not even good. Like I'm not bad at it, but I play with people who are really good. So a lot of pickle. I've been eating. The main thing that I've been doing, which we're gonna talk about here today, since football ended, I have watched every single fucking Pistons game.
Wow.
Every
That's a
Pistons game
commitment.
and most Michigan basketball games and a lot of Michigan State basketball as well.
Wow.
Like I have watched a lot of basketball. Not that I haven't been watching the Wings, but like that's like it's that there's that low when the Lions have ended the last couple years because things are just bad in this town. I cannot wait to talk about the Pistons because I don't remember they're doing some really cool shit right now, and I'm excited. That's it. New job, a lot of pickle, been eating, and then the Pistons.
What have you eaten? Quick synopsis of the food.
Everything. So the 4 days that I had off, and the couple times I went to Africa, South Africa's signature dish is oxtail. So I found this really good recipe for braised oxtail. They turned out outstanding, but I'm like, wait, I can adapt this recipe to short ribs, which I did last night. I've never braised short ribs before. I braised some short ribs last night. They're the best short ribs I've ever had in my life. They're my short ribs. I've mastered polenta.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
some talent here.
Polenta's easy to do, but you can buy it pre-made and then doctor it up, which I've been doing because it's easier, but I can also make my own. So I've been doing a lot of tip meats, still making steaks, a lot of chicken thighs here and there. I've been cooking some shit. Oh, one thing I did do while we were gone, I went to new Lady of the House. Did you ever go to Lady of the House before?
No.
Lady of the House.
Have not been.
My Mount Rushmore. It's not even a Mount Rushmore. I think the 3 best restaurants in Detroit are Grey Ghost, #1. It will always be #1 for me. Everything they do is outstanding. I've never left unimpressed. I've never had a bad meal. I get different stuff along with the same stuff every time. Grey Ghost is my go-to. Are you on board with that? I don't know. I know it's at your go-to.
It's in my top 3.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
#2 for me is Selden.
That's also you named 2 of my top 3s.
Yeah, Selden, same thing. There's a reason those 2 have been as open as long as they have been. Like, they're very good.
And are still impossible to get into.
Yeah, it's still impossible to get into. Number 3, in original Lady of the House, I went to like 2 or 3 times. The last meal I had right before the pandemic, right before everything shut down, I went on a Saturday. I was blown with my brother. we went to Lady of the House, and I had an outstanding meal, and then it closed. Like, she couldn't do it. She's arguably the best restaurateur in the city. Kate Williams is her name. So they reopened Lady of the House in the fall, and I finally got to go there like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I had probably one of the best meals I've had in Detroit at New Lady of the House. I can't recommend it enough. It's so good. The drinks are good. The vibes are good. There's still places I want to go to. Like, I haven't been to Puma yet. Have you been to Puma?
No.
It's Barda's other restaurant, and it's near Barda, which is also near Lady of the House.
I'm not a Barda fan.
I like Barda.
I'm not a huge
I like
Barda
Barda,
fan.
but I heard Puma is outstanding. Like, there's places I gotta go to.
There's some new ones that have popped up that I've noticed as of late and that I'm going to have to try. Honest to God, this Lady of the House place wasn't even on my radar, but I'm going to have to try this out.
Yeah, Lady of the House is outstanding. Go with people. Like, if you want to go, tell me. I'll fucking
Order
go.
one of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I ordered like 80% of the menu.
Beautiful.
Yeah, huge fan. That's it. I still haven't done anything. I'm due to travel. I'm planning to travel. I have 5 fucking weddings this year. My tentative plan, like, it's looking like Pistons Knicks right now. My tentative plan is to go to New York for a couple days to go to one of those games. And I've always dream is a playoff game at Madison Square Garden
MSG.
to see how feral those people get. Hoping for that, hoping to see the Pistons at Madison Square Garden. But I have plans. Like, I'm going to New Orleans in May. I'm going to Boston in August. I'm going to San Diego and LA at some point over the summer. So I'm finally going to travel. No overseas travel this year, but I'm due for vacations. So is Uncle Sam, by the way.
Bruce,
Yo.
life update, Hawaii update.
He's restarting the TikTok right
Give
now.
it to
so
us.
Give him a second.
Give it to us, Bruce. Give it to us.
Life update.
Life update, Hawaii update.
Nothing much. I learned that you can pretty much fly to Hawaii with nothing on you and live for the rest of your life.
Are you gonna do it?
You can go to Hawaii broke and just make it happen. Your Uncle Sam.
It's different over there, man. It's totally different. They live a
Different world.
It's not the United States over there. It is, but it's not.
So,
Different life. It's awesome over there.
okay, what about life?
What's so different about it?
Nothing. My life has been in Hawaii besides today.
What's so different about Hawaii?
The people, the culture.
Yeah, when you're there on somebody else's dime, it's real fucking easy. ain't
It's
it?
the best.
I mean,
Anything on everyone
when
else's
you
dime is the
can
best.
afford to. I mean, I could have easily gotten a hotel room and just stayed in Hawaii. I didn't
Oh, yeah?
have to use
Easily.
people that I was there with.
He came back just because he missed you. That's the only
Listen
reason
to
Bruce
me,
came
you-
back, because he
You're an
missed
idiot.
you.
You're 25 years old. You got nothing going on in your life. You should have just stayed.
What do you mean he's got nothing going on in his life?
Nothing going on.
He's got a
What's he
job. He's got responsibilities.
All right,
He's got a
anyway.
Buick.
That
He's
ain't
gotta
gonna
be
have very
here.
long.
The man's got a Buick.
He's got a
Phone
Buick.
bill.
Shout out to Jacqueline.
You
Bruce has a
couldn't
Buick.
afford a fucking hotel on that island.
We did. We stayed one night in a hotel.
Yeah, how much was that?
It's expensive, but
Expensive.
but-
Did you do the road to Hana?
He was in Hana.
we did a portion of the road. Hop.
Yeah.
We stayed.
Did you
on
go to the
hi-
Grand Wailea?
On the whole thing is the highway. So
I was in
Say Waleo, bro.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was in
Aloha,
Hawaii when I
freaking
was
dude.
3, and we stayed at the Grand Wailea. And while we were walking in, we got delayed one day because Arnold Schwarzenegger was walking in with his family. They were
See,
staying there.
I need to go to Hawaii.
I was 3 when that happened.
Bruce said if I went to Hawaii, I would never come back. He's probably not too far off.
shout out to Hana Dragons. Go Dragons! By the way,
The what?
Throw that in there. The high school, the Hana Dragons. We caught a volleyball game while we were there.
Hell yeah.
Men's volleyball or women's
It
volleyball?
was men's. It was like their first year.
And
starting.
the West Coast,
They were
and the West
restarting
Coast,
it back up.
there's
They
a
don't
lot
have
of
very
men's
big
volleyball
team.
in the West Coast and the South. Like the colleges, like USC, UCLA, Hawaii, Washington, Oregon, they have men's volleyball teams. We're just not used to that here. But men's volleyball is like totally a thing.
I learn something new every day. Uncle Sam, would you ever participate in a men's volleyball game?
I have. Actually, it was co-ed.
It's usually co-ed.
Panama City, Florida, with a bunch of girls from the Michigan State volleyball team. I'm not going to go any further with this. But anyway.
Smoke green, snort white with that team, right?
I've never been pelted with a volleyball so hard in my life.
Oh,
you
yeah.
loved it though, right?
Loved it.
All right. Well, we did promise you guys a Detroit sports recap today. The state of Detroit sports. We are a football show still at the end of the day. So we're going to discuss the Lions first and then move on into all the hot topics going on right now, especially NCAA tournament. So first things first, we have this list here of the signings. Zolo, which one do you think out of the ones that the Lions have pulled off thus far was the most impactful?
Yeah, I mean, DJ Reed was the biggest free agent cornerback on the market, even bigger than Carlton Davis, and they got him for cheaper than Carlton Davis. He grades out higher. I think this is great news for Terry and Arnold as well. They got the big fish at an important position for free agents, because of course there's some big fishes at a more important position that they didn't get. There's a few of them. We will get there, but the DJ Reed signing was outstanding. Like that was a pretty good move in my opinion, and I'm excited about it. I think that's a good fit. He plays man, and he's healthy. Like DJ Reed's healthy, and I look at what Sauce Gardner was able to accomplish in 3 years with DJ Reed, and that's what I'm thinking like the comp is for Terry and Arnold. I think that's going to be a really big thing for Terry and Arnold.
So obviously with that signing, Carlton Davis left. He signed with the Patriots on a $60 million deal over 3 years.
I actually like what they've done.
Who?
New England.
Well, you got to save that for next week when we start to break down everybody's free agents.
Some may argue that
But-
the Patriots had one of the best free agency classes.
I agree. with that.
And on top of that, they're in on Stephon Diggs supposedly, but we will talk about this like Sam mentioned. I'll say this much: I was looking at a graph early on in free agency. I'm like, why isn't my team doing anything? The teams that win free agency almost never win anything else. They almost never go on to win the Super Bowl. There's a move here or there that you do in free agency that helps your team and you go on to win a Super Bowl, but you got to win a Super Bowl with your core parts. Case in point, the Eagles, for the most part, those were a lot of core parts, but they brought in a Zach Bond that worked out. You know, like there's a move here and there. They brought back a CJ Gardner-Johnson, like a little subtle tweak here and there for your core. He's gone now. He's gone now. Where'd he go? Houston? They traded him to Houston?
I believe so.
So I thought about it and I looked at all of the teams that were doing things, and then I looked at all the teams last year.
I just thought for a team like New England, who was basically a dumpster fire, I think they've done enough to put a really good product on the field this year, better than what they've had the past 2 years. So I think that was a big improvement. They needed that.
Yeah, they might be
have
a
such a
six.
core player of young guys.
Yeah.
They've added some seasoned talent.
They'll win 6 or 7
That should.
games this year.
I actually, you know what? They might surprise a lot of people.
We got hot takes coming already.
Well, I mean, they got a new
First
coaching
episode
staff.
back.
It's going to take some time for it to gel together, but they got a new coaching staff. They needed that mix of veteran players with these young players that they have already. And plus, they have quite a few draft picks coming up in this draft. So I think they've done very well.
Do we have any qualms with the fact that they let Carlton Davis walk to sign DJ Reed?
No.
No.
I agree.
He can't
No.
stay healthy.
Carlton Davis
Been in the
couldn't
league
stay
6
healthy.
years, and he hasn't played a full season.
And that's a lot of money that they gave him. They gave him a lot of money. I don't believe in investing in corners that much because I believe a corner is only as good as the front seven that's in front of you. And he wasn't like when we
that's
needed
the key.
Carlton Davis most, he wasn't there. He was good when he played. Like there was a point in the middle of the season where Carlton Davis and Terrion Arnold were both very good, and they were playing off each other. But you got to stay healthy. And when we needed Carlton Davis most, like he was unhealthy.
Brad Holmes isn't going to invest in any kind of real free agent. He really isn't.
I mean, he's
getting guys just to fill positions. Is what he's doing. So you might see them go after a guard here, but I don't see anything beyond that.
Okay, well, speaking of that, Zeidler has signed with the Titans.
Correct.
How do we feel about that one?
I don't think they were ever going to sign him. I was shocked at how low the money was for Zeitler to go to the Titans.
I was too.
Yeah.
I don't think they were going to sign him though.
If the Lions could have made, do you think they should have made a comparable offer just to keep him, or was it time?
Maybe. That being said,
I think they got guys on the roster that they want.
Yeah.
They want to get
They're
rid
ready.
of.
Mahogany's going to start. I think
Yeah.
they're banking on Glasgow not necessarily taking a step because he's a vet. He's older than me, but they're banking on Glasgow playing better. And if you put Mahogany in with Glasgow playing better, should be good. We should be good to go.
It's still got that Zornsol, whatever.
Sorsdal, the one that
still
they
have-
like is Natane Muti, who they just signed. They
Yeah.
think that he could push. Mahogany's going to start. Mahogany's probably the right guard.
Right.
It's just who's going to play on the left. It's Glasgow right now. Maybe he ends up being a cap casualty or a camp cut, whatever.
And they might address that in the draft, too. So, I mean,
There's no
wouldn't be
scenario where
surprised.
guard or tackle are not going to be on the table in the draft. Like they're going to look for an interior guy in the draft. I don't think it's going to be early personally, but they're going to go after offensive linemen in the draft for sure.
pretty deep. They're pretty deep at a lot of positions in this draft. So,
Melifonwu, gone. He's with the Jets now.
Yeah.
Do we have any qualms with letting him go?
I do have some qualms, but they weren't going to pay him, and safeties are kind of a dime a dozen. You know, like you got.
how
Kirby
can you
Joseph
pay a
Yearbout.
guy that's played, 8 games in 2 years? I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah,
What are we doing?
you're right.
Yeah.
And then one that made me very happy is Kindle Vildor is no longer on the team. He is now with the Buccaneers.
I'll tell you, he has some value. Don't think that the guy was that
He
much
did.
dog shit.
The
'cause he
the
wasn't.
back half of this year, he had value.
Yeah.
He played stout for what they needed out of him, which is
Right.
they just needed a 6th or 7th quarter. Like he barely made the team, and he
Right.
played pretty stout towards the back half. Now, what I do like, which you'll get to in a second, is they've totally addressed cornerback depth with better versions of Kindle Vildor.
Correct.
They went out and got Avante Maddox and Rock Ya-Sin.
Yeah.
You don't like that. I could tell by the look on your face you don't
no,
like
I think Maddox is clearly better than Vildor. I mean, we know that. But, I mean, you're talking about these are guys, and Sin the same way. These are guys that were highly touted coming out of college and didn't pan out. I mean, they were third best at best, third string on other teams.
You don't need them to unseat. Like these are,
Correct.
we're getting into corners 5, 6, and 7 right now when we're
Correct.
talking about Khalil Dorsey, Avante Maddox, and Rock Ya-Sin. You don't need them to unseat Ennis Rakestraw,
Right.
and Terrion Arnold and
This gives you
DJ Reed.
depth.
This
that
gives
they
you
didn't
depth.
have
These
last
are
year.
depth signings that they
Yeah.
really could have used last year. Like you're going to get a little bit elevated play in the event that there are the injuries that you had
Correct.
last year. You're going to get a little more out of your corner depth, which is good.
You know, Maddox has some playoff experience
just won a
now.
Super
I
Bowl.
mean,
Just
won
won
a Super Bowl last year. so-
The second closest high
Yeah.
school to Ford Field is Detroit King. He played there. He was in a
Yep.
good defense in Pat Narduzzi's defense at Pitt. There's a lot to like about the Maddox signing, and Rock Ya-Sin's also been a part of good defenses in Tampa.
Yeah.
So for strictly depth purposes, I like both of these signings for sure.
This next one is one that I know Uncle Sam is a big fan of. Defensive tackle Roy Lopez.
I really can't tell you much. I would say he's probably an upgrade of what you had here.
He's going to fly under the radar. I think he's an outstanding signing. And I listened to his press conference, and I was like, this guy was born to be here. I'm excited to see him on the field because you were missing depth as the season went on at D tackle, and this is a guy that hopefully will provide, very good stout play when you need it, which is what was missing last year. That was the theme, I think, of the Lions free agent class is like when we need you, we need you. And we didn't have these guys that we needed last year, so now we have some depth at some of these positions.
This name I'm not all too familiar with. Linebacker Grant Stoward.
So Stewart was more he got more play. He got more play in Indy as the season went on. There's a correlation with what Brad Holmes is doing. I think he very much factors in like PFF. Like I think he factors in grades because the Lions have 5 like top 25 graded linebackers right now on their roster, and Stewart is one of those guys. He was very efficient when he did get in. Like he eventually broke through special teams and started to play regularly for them and played really well for them. So again, you have depth at a position that you were missing depth at last year by making this signing. And I think that's why he's here.
So the common theme here is depth.
With their free, other than DJ Reed.
Semi-talented depth. Speaking of semi-talented depth, And as soon as this signing happened, I think that's when the Hendon Hooker rumors really started to fly around that they might be moving on. Quarterback Kyle Allen.
It's a vet
Camp
minimum
body.
deal. It's
Camp body.
He could be a camp body, but it's definitely eye-opening on what's going on with Hendon Hooker. Remember, Hendon Hooker won the job last year. So why is he not where you need him to be? It's something to keep an eye on.
I agree with that.
It's something to keep an eye on.
I think there's a lot of people who think that Hendon Hooker is going to get traded at some point before this draft.
Maybe.
Into some bigger names. Re-signings of Derek Barnes. 3 years, $16 million. You are shaking your head. You obviously do not like it. Please let us know why.
I don't mind Derek Barnes as a player. The problem is the same problem with everybody else we're talking about is his production. He can't stay on the field. These guys cannot stay healthy. They can't stay on the field. Now, I don't know if they need a new strength and conditioning coach or something, but if you can't stay healthy, you're not worth having on this team. So at some point, you have to play smart. You have to learn how to play and stay healthy. You're more valuable on the field than you are not playing. It's just ridiculous. Right. And here we go. We keep regurgitating all the same shit over and over again.
So you don't.
I get it. It's how you put together a team when you're going to be capped out with all the people you have to sign. You keep re-signing yours, and I get that to a sense. But, they always said don't fall in love with a guy either. And it seems like they fall in love with a couple of guys, and I think that could be eventually could be their downfall.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say the other one that you're saying falls into that philosophy is the Marcus Davenport deal. 1 year, $6.5 million.
The Davenport deal I get because it ain't a lot of money. Not a lot of money.
They're playing. Listen, if he wanted to spin it the other way and say I don't get it, because you hit the nail on the head.
The Barnes thing I don't get.
You're playing with house money with Marcus Davenport, and I don't think that Marcus Davenport is going to be the starting DN like he is on paper right now just because they re-signed him. I don't think that that's going to be the one who's getting the primary snaps across from Hutchinson. I think Davenport's in that rotational role, and you're playing with house money. It's not a lot of money, and you don't know what he's capable of. Like, we don't even know. That there's for sure going to be one, maybe two guys we get out of this draft, right, that are going to be DNs. There may be a deal up their sleeve right now that we don't know about. Like, there's something that we don't know that's going on at the moment, in my opinion. I hated the Davenport thing at first just because my mind, like, when it happened and my mind was associating it with, why are we doing this? But this
Same
isn't.
way.
He's going to be a piece.
Yeah.
He's a piece.
Yeah, Levi Onwuzurike 1 year for $5.5 million.
Onwuzurike's going to
let's
start.
Be honest, dude. He played how many games last year?
He ended up playing
16?
almost a full schedule.
He played 16
not
games
quite.
and had 1 sack.
He's good in run D. I mean, this is insurance because, remember, you might be out of Lee McNeil to start the year.
Correct. And I understand that, and I believe that's why they brought him back.
And this is also why, like, who would have thought this was a need because of the whole Broderick Martin thing not working out? Like, you spent a third on him a couple years ago. Like, now you're looking at potentially taking
but
a
with
D
Martin,
tackle.
they don't even know what's going on with him right now.
No.
I mean, is he going to be even on our? Is he going to play this year?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, you wouldn't have alarming depth at D tackle if Broderick Martin panned out over the.
That's
last
what I'm
year.
saying. You wouldn't
draft
even
him as
really
a prop.
worry about it. But
Jumping ahead here, Tim Patrick 1 year, $2.5 million.
I don't mind that.
I have no
Yeah.
issue with that.
Stole
I'm happy
him.
about it.
Stole him.
Yep,
I would have been
agree.
disappointed if he got away.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
And then some other signings. Al-Quadin Muhammad is back.
Hell yeah. Inshallah.
Pat O'Connor is back.
Oh God.
Dan Skipper is back.
I don't mind Skipper. I actually like Skipper. This pink head.
He's just a.
He looks a lot.
like
He looks like a
Shrek,
giant
dude.
version of Bruce.
If you made Bruce 6'7" and 300 pounds, yeah.
yes, he'd
Dan
look like
Skipper.
Dan Skipper.
Leon's mad that we didn't invite him. Leon, I'm sorry.
Is President
sorry?
chat right now?
President of chat.
I got to bring the chat back up.
going
Hold
on?
on 1 second. Other signings: Khalil Dorsey and Craig Reynolds is back.
Craig!
Craig
Love
Reynolds.
Craig, dude.
I don't know why they just don't draft another back. Jesus Christ.
You should lock him.
It's Vaki. They drafted him.
Ah,
last year.
Vaki. You might have to play him at safety this year.
Yeah, shout out to the chat right now. We got some loyal fans in here. Garrett says that Bruce has been puffing on Magic Dragons. Andrew asking about the Cena heel turn.
Yeah,
That
Andrew.
was directed at Zolo. I'm
Andrew,
sure.
we got a good road to WrestleMania build right now. It's something else you guys missed. The wrestling's been on point. Yeah, I still watch it. I know. You can make fun of me. It's
I
fine.
didn't say
Craig's a
anything.
locker room guy.
Just sitting here,
John Cena's at the
taking
end of
it
his
all
career.
in, bud.
Guy.
We all know who John Cena is. He's at the end of his career. He's been a good guy for 20 plus years, and he's on his last run, and they turned him heel, which means they've turned him into a bad guy. And everyone's been has wanted this for decades, and they gave it to us when we least expected it. So it should be fun. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. How's it going, guys? Let us know your thoughts. Lions off season, NCAA tournament. Honestly, we're going to jump into the tournament here pretty quick. I want to know who everybody's favorite is going into the Sweet 16 now, so you guys can hop on that train with us. Some cuts. Reeves Mabin got cut. You don't give one shit about that, do you?
Nope.
And Zadarius Smith.
I'm going to be honest with you. I thought they overpaid for him. That was my opinion. And at the point, you were like, well, they need a guy. And I get it. But I do not think he was worth the 2 draft picks that they wasted on him.
I haven't heard any chatter on this, but I wonder if he's a candidate to re-sign.
That's possible.
I wonder if that's been tabled. He's
I
a
don't
guy that's
know.
going to sign.
I mean,
he'll be one of those guys that'll be a free agent closer to camp, and then we'll sign somewhere. Go ahead. What were you going to say? You don't.
yeah,
want that?
I just don't think it really worked with him here. I mean,
thought it worked, but
out of all
he's
the games
depth.
that he played, I only remember him having one decent game.
He's
So-
depth. He's a depth guy. He's
Yeah.
not the to solidify the Super Bowl D line. He's not that.
So when this might have been before we left this show, but actually, you know what? No, because we talked about it on here. Myles Garrett requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. He didn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah, it was dog shit, dude.
He didn't
It was
care
about
to be
money.
there. He wanted to go win a
It's about money.
championship. And then a few days went by, and he signed I believe the largest non-quarterback deal ever, $40 million a year to stay in Cleveland. And then shortly after that, Max Crosby re-signed to stay with the Raiders.
I will say this: the Crosby thing, I understood.
Yeah, I agree.
You bring in Pete Carroll, the scumbag. Pete Carroll will turn that fucking team around. They will be a viable team this year.
Yes,
It will not be like it's been there. They'll be disciplined. He'll put together a really good staff.
Hold on, and we will get there when we do this. But they have like semi. I don't love Geno Smith, but they now have semi-competent quarterback play, which they haven't had in 3 or 4
And I
years.
think Aiden O'Connell's going to be the benefactor of all of this. He's going to learn a real system from a real fucking coaching staff, and not the bullshit that they've been putting on the field there the last 3 years. You know what I mean?
So you like the Crosby re-signing?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think he honestly realizes that he has a better shot now of having a fucking good team than he has the past.
I definitely think the timing. I think Pete Carroll certainly has something to do with Max
agree
Crosby.
with that.
Not that Max Crosby was ever openly wanting to leave, but I know behind the scenes he.
Oh, I think to be honest with you, I think he would have been gone.
Yeah.
Knowing that Pete Carroll wasn't being the coach.
That's a good get for like he's always been a player's coach, even though Uncle Sam disagrees with that. But
What? Pete Carroll?
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's rah-rah.
Yeah.
Then you're going to
Exactly.
turn. When you turn around, he's going to drive that knife all the way up into your ass.
there's a
'Cause that's what he
correlation.
did. He's done that to everybody that's played for him.
There's a correlation with Crosby jumping on that. Well, there's 2 correlations. Number one was to surpass Myles Garrett, but there's a correlation with Carroll coming in and Crosby, jumping on signing a deal with a team that doesn't. It's got somewhat of a murky future. So it's a good get. It's a good. That's a. I'm sad. I'm sad about that, but
Why?
You hated. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted Crosby here. That's all.
Yeah.
You hated the Myles Garrett signing.
No, I'm actually glad Detroit did not sign him.
Why?
To be honest with you.
Why?
I was all aboard on him when he wanted to leave, and I was thinking to myself, man, is it really worth the collateral you're going to have to give away to grab him for maybe a couple of years? I just don't think it's worth it. I think if you're going to do something, you do it through the draft, because the only way you're going to be able to pay two two edge rushers the kind of money that they're going to command is to draft one of them. That's the only way you can do it.
What
They're
I'm
gonna
about
have
to
to
say,
play. They're going to have to pay Hutchinson this year. If not this year, next year, you're going to have to pay him. So once you pay him, because he's going to command top 5 money,
Well,
regardless. I know he hasn't put the numbers up yet, but as where he's at and projected is he's going to be a top 5 pass rusher.
I remember, I can't remember who wrote it, but I remember reading something on Twitter the other day, and it was an article. I think it was, I don't remember exactly where it was from, but they said that Hutchinson would be the guy who would take the pay cut to ensure the future of the team.
I don't think he
You
would.
see,
Even if he does.
I believe sort of, kind of on that. But here's the thing: is he going to command the money that
it's going to be $40 million.
that Miles Garrett did?
his
It's gonna be
co-
40
I don't think
he's going to get that.
Miles
He's gonna
Garrett's
get
won
that.
2
He's gonna get
MVPs and has been the consistency of what you should be in a pass rusher for 8 years.
It's not about that though.
That's what it's about the money part.
What the Lions do is they set the market, right? Like, would
Correct.
you say last year Amon-Ra St. Brown was worth more than Jamar Chase? No, but they want to set the market on these
Correct.
contracts, so that's why Aiden
That's the smart
Hutchinson's
thing to
going to
do
get
is to
$40
stay
million
ahead.
dollars
I get that.
because it becomes a bargain down the road. So they're going to set
Yeah.
the market. It's going to be $40 million. Everything I'm about to say, you're correct on 100%, and you've already disproven. There was one name that did make sense over Myles Garrett and over Max Crosby. One name that always makes sense going back to the trade deadline last year, who they didn't selfishly move, and that's Trey Hendrickson,
I agree.
who played with Aaron Glenn and Campbell in New Orleans. They were there when he was drafted, plays in the system, the perfect complement to Aiden Hutchinson. Doesn't want to be where he is. He does want to be where he is. He just wants the money to be where he is. If you can land Hendrickson on like a short-term deal, on like a 2-year deal, you can make it make
Yeah, but
sense.
then at the end of 2 years, you're going to be losing key pieces to pay these guys.
Well, no,
And it doesn't make
that
any
bridges the Hutchinson extension doesn't kick in until 2 years from now.
Correct. And
So
guess
you have
what?
to use the
you're
money
talking
now.
about an older guy now, too.
Yeah, it would work
He's close
perfect.
to 30 years old.
It would work
I
perfect.
mean, what they need to do is this. This is what I would do. If I was GM of this team, it'd be real simple. You package a bunch of draft picks, and you package a player or two here that you don't feel like you're going to be able to go forward with, and you get up as high in that draft to grab the edge rusher that you want. That way you got him for the next 5
And
years.
who would that be?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Are they going to get Carter? No, because he's going to be probably a top 3 pick. Abdul Carter. He'll be gone.
Well,
But I mean, you're gonna be able to get
I'm not
proven guys there.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think this is going to be one of the easier drafts that we have seen to jump up. And we're going to get
But here's
draft talk, but
the issue: is somebody going to go up and try to get that first pick from Tennessee? Because if that doesn't happen, I see everybody staying basically stalemate.
It's still going to cost a lot of
You,
money.
you
to
know what I
jump
mean?
up. No, so there's going to be some movement in the top 10 for sure. There
Yeah.
almost always is.
Maybe.
It does get easier to jump up like once you get into 10 through 20, and they probably have the capital to do it this time around. And it just depends on which names are there that they like. Like I don't even know off the top of my head.
You know,
like the
I wanted
Georgia
Jack
guys.
Sawyer, and now I'm seeing this guy's dropped all the way on mock drafts. He's dropped all the way to like the 5th and 6th round.
You can probably get Jack Sawyer in round 2. Realistically, I think a team's gonna like him.
I don't think I would. I don't know. He's dropped like a bomb.
That's fine. I don't care.
I don't
That guy's-
understand why.
This is a Michigan fan telling you that kid can play football and
Yeah.
he would thrive here. He would thrive under
Yeah.
Dad Campbell. No, I know what you're saying. They're gonna. It might end up being a D tackle in round 1 just because the depth there is insane. And if the right guy, like if Kenneth Grant from Michigan falls to them, they're probably gonna take him. They're probably gonna take a flyer on him. I know they like Harmon from Oregon. To me though, it's just like go get your D end. Go get 2 of them. Go get 2 DNs. They've been talking to a lot of them. I think they like some more than others. I think they see system guys, but like you need a day 1 difference maker.
What
across
guy
from
would you
Hutchinson.
take at 28?
Like realistic or unrealistic?
No, realistically.
can I say something?
Of
real
one
quick?
that would be there.
And
Yeah.
this has worried me.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at mock drafts today. Okay. I saw 3 mock drafts. I probably went through 15. So this is maybe a 1 in 5th sample size. I saw 3 mock drafts. Do you know? Guess what position they had the Lions taking? Which I wouldn't even think
Guard.
to go here in round 1. No.
Not receiver.
Yes.
It's plausible.
They had him going 3 mock drafts. Luther Burden.
It's plausible. I don't see them just the way free agency is shaped out. I don't see them doing that. 2 sneaky needs. They're very sneaky needs. Well, not sneaky because wide receiver's been an issue for a year now. It's a need. That's something that they can and will do in the middle rounds, like round 4. I can see that happening. I don't see them going in the first 3 rounds.
You want to know what else I saw, and I actually loved it? For their 2nd round pick at 90. Going
60.
For 60, excuse me, going for a wide receiver.
Depends who's there.
From Stanford.
Alec Almanor or whatever.
And I know this is going to shock you, but I actually watched some tape. I watched some.
No, he's good.
He is so good.
He's the
dude.
prototypical X, and
Yes,
then
he
something
is so good.
something that like a way to tip Brad Holmes' hand a little bit. They always go for high RAS scores. They always look for athletes, and he has a high RAS score. Like he graded out high on the bench press. He graded out high on the high jump.
If they go O-line with that first pick.
It depends how the board shakes out. But, yeah, it wouldn't shock me if they go for a guard. It wouldn't shock me. They should go D-line in their first 2 picks,
Do you think they move up?
Same scenario as last year. If a guy, they're going to have 5 to 10 guys that they're going to have first-round grades on. And if they're there, they're going to move up to get those guys. He's growing on me. There's character concerns, apparently.
Yeah, I've been hearing.
He's growing on me. I don't believe in character concerns because look how the Jalen Carter thing worked out. There hasn't been a peep about Jalen Carter since he's gotten to Philly.
I know.
And I think if there's any franchise that can buck character concerns, the Lions have a lot of suspensions because of J-Mo on and off for 2 years. The Lions have the least amount of arrests since Dan Campbell took over as coach. So you can bring in a guy and you can easily change his attitude. Like once you start winning games, there's character concerns isn't a thing if you're winning games.
Right.
So it depends on if there's guys that I like more than Pierce that are there. But yeah, Pierce is a freak and could be a day 1 difference maker. Like like I want a terrorist opposite Aiden Hutchinson.
I want a guy that's a legitimate edge rusher. I don't want some fucking hybrid guy.
Not a set the edge, run stopping edge. I don't want that. I want a guy that has 4 moves to get to the quarterback and is a heat-seeking missile. Because the other guy on the other end, Hutchinson, has been a heat-seeking missile. So if you have 2 of them, it's a good thing. Like only good things could happen there.
Do you think they move up?
Maybe. Maybe.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they trade out.
Because I haven't seen Pierce go lower than 20.
Other than his first draft, which was Sewell, and that was the guy they always wanted, and the board played perfectly into them. And then no, it's only that draft. Like they traded up to get J-Mo. They traded back to get Gibbs, and then traded back up to get Campbell or trade. Like they're making last year they traded up to get Terry Arnold. They make a trade in the first round every year. Like there's going to be a guy that they like, that they're obsessed with, that they know can make a difference. He's been right about it every time. By the way, he's been right about it almost every time that it's happened. So if there's a guy, there's a scenario I could trade up.
Deep at tight end too. You know what? I
They
wouldn't
need
be
one.
off the board of taking a tight end.
It won't happen early, but 100% they're
they have
going
a
to.
third?
I'd love to see that.
They
They get
signed.
comp
They
third?
signed. Yeah, they have a comp third for losing Aaron Glenn. So they have it's pick 100 or 101.
101.
Yeah,
101 or 102.
something like
I can't
that.
remember which one it is.
So they do have a comp third.
They have 90 or 60,
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
don't pick again until
They don't have a 4th, so they don't pick again until like 130 after pick 100 or like one. It's late. 198,
28, 60, 102, 130.
130, 198.
They got it. The 4th is a comp for
The 3rd is a comp for Aaron Glenn. It happens at the end of the 3rd round.
4th, I believe, was a comp as well.
It might be what's his face? It might be DeAndre Swift.
Could
Or not a comp, no.
Then they don't have a
comp.
5th.
They don't have a 5th.
196,
No, they gave that 5th away for
228
Darius
from
Smith.
Dallas,
Yeah.
and then 240.
And a 7
Yeah.
last year.
No, they'll move around for sure. They'll move around.
Right.
Okay. Moving on. Should we talk about the NCAA tournament? Should we talk some basketball? Have you
I'd rather talk about the Pistons than that.
We got him on here. We got to talk about both
get
of
into
them.
the Pistons next? We're getting to the Pistons
All
next.
right.
Right now, as it stands, how much of the NCAA tournament have you watched?
Very little.
Zolo, I'm guessing you've watched quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've watched Michigan in their entirety for 3 months. I've watched a ton of Michigan State. I watch a lot of Big Ten, and then the tournament is the tournament. Like I'm flipping through the games. There's no game that I've stuck with start to finish except for Michigan. But I'm flipping. Yeah, I'm very.
Flip it.
I can speak the language if that's what you're
Do
wondering.
you have a favorite right now?
I have two because they're two different favorites. The first favorite. This is going to surprise people. This team always chokes, and I never pick them because they always choke, but I don't think they're going to choke this year. Like, gun to my head, the team I'm picking to win it all is Duke. They're always overhyped. This is a different Duke team. They play offense and defense. They have the number 1 overall pick, and everything is just clicking for them. Like, they are shit-pumping teams. And I think Duke is going to have a real – at a minimum, I think Duke's got a good shot to make the championship game. At the bare minimum.
So Duke would have to take out, let's see, Arizona and the winner of BYU and Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. Do you have a favorite or no?
No. You know what? I think any of these. Here's what's weird, dude. You don't have any.
The lowest ranked
No
team
Cinderellas are left. The lowest
Yeah.
ranked team is what, 10?
This is-
Arkansas at 10.
This is the first time that an 11 seed or worse hasn't made it to the Sweet
Right.
16 since like 2017 or 2018.
Right.
And it was pretty chalk. Like all the 1 seeds are still alive, all the
Yeah.
2 seeds are still alive, all the 3 seeds are
Yeah.
still alive.
I think
believe
it's
all
up in the air, dude. I see Michigan State going to the Final Four.
They're gonna have a
I
shot.
don't see them,
Iowa State lost.
Iowa State lost. Yeah, sorry, Iowa
Yeah.
State lost. That's who Michigan State.
but I don't see Michigan State winning it. But I see them possibly going to the Final Four.
It just seems like regarding Michigan State.
And I think Duke is going to be there also.
Do you think we're going to have a Michigan State Elite 8 matchup?
No.
Gun to my head, no, because I don't think Michigan beats Auburn, and I also think there's a very good chance that State loses. If Auburn is good enough to beat Michigan, I think they're also good enough to beat Michigan State as well.
Yeah.
Even though State's better than Michigan, that's not the point. I just think that Auburn was one of the best teams all year, and they've had a bad month. But this tournament, like Michigan's a prime example of this. This tournament is about who gets hot at the right time.
And they've gotten hot.
Auburn is. They had a rough SEC tournament. The team to beat, if Michigan State does make it to the Final Four, it's probably going to be Florida sitting there waiting for them.
Yeah.
And Florida's very good. I think we're looking at a Duke and Florida national title game. That's my bet right now. And that's the second team I was going to tell you about. I think Florida's going to have a very good shot at this thing.
Florida's my pick. But before all of this happened, Michigan State won the regular season, correct?
Michigan State won the regular season. Do we want to talk about the thing on the court? Do we care about that?
Go ahead.
I don't really care. I mean, I think it's funny, and I was just kind of checked out at that point in time. Michigan got shit pumped by State. State beat them twice. State beat them in Ann Arbor. In that game, Michigan had a lead at the half and looked really good, and then that was when their season changed.
Yeah,
was
but
at
that's
halftime.
when they finally decided to play defense, and that was
You talking about State?
yeah.
Well, no, it was the opposite. That's when Michigan State finally started making shots for the first time all year, and that's like you can
Yeah,
make the
but their
case.
defense is what turned that game around. They were
Their
gonna lose
defense
that
is what's had them in there all
Yeah.
season. But Michigan State, like the reason they won the Big Ten, they were a very poor 3-point shooting team. And then from mid-February, from that Michigan game onward, they shot the shit out of the ball. And that's why they won the Big Ten. And if they get back to that, like they're going to have a shot to at least make the Final Four. But then they win again. You know, the Big Ten was already clinched. Michigan was on a horrible losing streak. I think it was 3 or 4 games. And then they went to East Lansing. And obviously there was the thing on the court, which you guys are aware of. Michigan State has this tradition where they kiss the Spartan. And the Michigan players were being assholes and stubborn and stood on it. And there was kind of a shove. I didn't really see it. It was a shoving match at center court. But Michigan took the time before the Big Ten tournament. Dusty May took that time and went on this little bitch tour in the press and was like kind of talking shit. And he took his team to Indy early for the tournament, the Big Ten tournament, and he got them ready to play. Like, they look fucking good right now. They look really good. They went on, and so Michigan State won the Big Ten outright regular season, which is awesome. Congrats to them. Congrats to Izzo. And then Michigan countered by beating everybody. I mean, they beat everyone but Michigan State. They didn't beat the champion, but they beat Wisconsin, who knocked Michigan State out. They beat Purdue in Indianapolis. And then Tom Izzo said that he thinks that Maryland is one of the best teams in the Big Ten, and Michigan beat them as well en route to winning the tournament. And then they had two tough. Everyone had counted Michigan out against University of San Diego or whatever, UCSD. Michigan beat them and then beat a really good A&M team. And then Michigan State's like, yeah, they struggled their first two games, but they beat a really good New Mexico team last night. And they have to play a good Ole Miss. Like,
Hey, and they were down.
they were down by 10
They
at
were
one
down
point.
by 10.
They were down by 10. I mean, it's good. Like, I think Michigan State's going to have a shot at this. I'll feel really good about Michigan. I've already felt good about Michigan because they were in last place last year. They were starting Doug McDaniel at home games only, and Dusty May has them, and they won the Big
You know
Ten.
what a dumpster fire they've been.
They were a dumpster fire
come on.
for a year or two there.
Shit with
Juwan.
Juwan Howard. That was fucking horrible.
Yeah, they were a dumpster fire, and not like anything Michigan does going forward is house money. The fact that they made the second weekend is awesome. I know for Michigan
Kind of
State
surprised me that he didn't become a better coach than he was.
Juwan.
Yeah, that's surprising.
That's a whole other show. It's a
Yeah.
whole other show. He just, I think his ego got in the way of the last
Yeah.
couple. Like
I do too.
like when his son Jet left, he was a first rounder of the Magic. I think that kind of changed everything. His teams were talent depleted, and they didn't give him enough money to compete. And he just had this bad attitude, it felt like.
Yeah.
But he's been so good. Like, he came back for senior day for Jace. Like, he goes to their games. He's very supportive of Dusty May. He's been really cool to the program since he's left. No, there's a lot to like about both of these teams. I think Michigan State has a very legitimate shot at a Final Four. They have not looked
They're deep.
great. They're deep. They're 10. They have. That's why they win games. They have 10 dudes. They're gonna have a shot. They're gonna have a shot if they could beat Auburn. And then same for Michigan. Like, we're like Sunday, we could literally be talking about Michigan and Michigan State playing each other to go
For
to
a
the
third time.
to go to the Final Four,
Yeah.
which would be chef's kiss. Like, that's got good basketball here right now.
Yeah, should we talk about the Pistons too?
I mean, I don't think there's a better story. It's one of the best stories in sports to me is the Pistons. Am I crazy for saying that?
No, I
No.
think right now, absolutely. So if we're talking about Pistons teams, where do you think this one rates as far as the entertainment factor goes?
It's more entertaining to me than the going to work Pistons. Entertaining. That doesn't mean they're a better team, and that doesn't mean I'm having a more I'm more in love with this team. But this team is so much fun to watch. And they're the exact Cade Cunningham is the exact opposite of what the NBA is at the moment. They play fast. They don't shoot the three ball like all these other teams. Like, they work the ball into the middle. They play defense. Like, they are so much fun. The core of their team, Cade Cunningham's 23 years old. Jalen Duren is 21. Marcus Sasser's 24. Osar Thompson, who's become like one of my favorite people to watch, is 21. Ron Holland had 26 points off the bench last night. He's the first teenager, including LeBron James, in NBA history to have 26 points, at least 5 rebounds, at least 5 assists with 0 turnovers in a game, which is absurd. Like, they have this 19-year-old just Energizer Bunny, and then another version of it in Osar Thompson. Their core is all young. And like,
What's his
this
name?
is-
Ain't even played. He's hurt.
Yeah, and Jaden Ivey, who
Yeah,
I haven't
Ivey
even
hasn't even
mentioned,
played.
who is coming back, by the way, and was playing really well before he left. Jaden Ivey's coming back. Like, he's running right now. He had the same injury as Aiden Hutchinson. He's running, and he'll be back for the playoffs. Jaden Ivey will be back. He's also 24 or 25. So this Pistons core it's playing like it can never get worse than it is now, and it's so good and so fun to watch. So their future is like through the roof, in my opinion.
It's something how you bring a different GM in here. This guy has a vision, and he hires the right coach to get these guys to play. Because the talent's always been here. This talent has been here, outside of Howard, who they just drafted. But the talent itself has been here. It's been here for 3 or 4 years.
So, if I'm correct, there's 82 games in an NBA season, correct? So they're 72 games in, and they're currently sitting in 6th spot.
Right.
Yeah, but they're like a game or two out of the 4 spot.
Yeah, so they're they're a game out of 5 and 2 games out of 6. So, or out of 4, I'm sorry. So game out of the 5, 2 out of 4. 1, do you think they can hold pat the next 10 games and not have to deal with the play-in?
I don't. Well, yeah, they're. I think they're all but confirmed for the 6 because who's behind them? It might be Atlanta,
35,
and they have a losing
36.
record, right?
Correct. They're 1 game under 5.
Yeah, because the Pistons' schedule it shakes out kind of nicely.
I'm sorry, how many
forward.
games did we win last year?
The Pistons.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
I mean, come on.
These turnarounds have kind of happened in the NBA before, like versions of this turnaround. All of these versions of this turnaround have happened after acquiring a superstar. That's the only way to turn around what the Pistons have done. They have not acquired a superstar. They're doing it like they got Malik Beasley, who's leading the league in threes. They brought back Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway Jr. Those are their offseason acquisitions. So this is all Cade Cunningham and JB Bickerstaff's coaching. That's what you're seeing right now. And to me, it's like one of the greatest stories in Detroit sports history. It's just incredible. Like and I promise you guys, no matter, like I know a lot of people, Bruce, you're one of these people. I know a lot of people hate the NBA. Rightfully so. It's a tough product to watch. This Pistons product is very entertaining.
You know
it's
why?
Very good to watch.
You know why it's entertaining to watch them? Because they're actually playing defense.
Yeah.
And they're not just chucking balls up there. That's the difference. And I disagree with you on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that going to work Pistons team, they got a special place, man, just because nobody expected these guys to do what they did.
It's
And
my
I
favorite
think
sports
that's-
memory in Detroit. And my favorite
Yeah,
sports
I mean,
memory
these-
all time was
these
going
guys
to
weren't high draft picks like Cunningham and
That's the
Ivy.
thing.
These guys weren't.
That's
that.
the thing. We have a superstar.
Yeah.
We have it's not even up for debate. I will spit in someone's face while I'm blue in the face talking about this. The best athlete in this town, in the future of this town at the same time, is Cade Cunningham. We have a future MVP over Tarek Skubal, over any Lion, over Lucas Raymond, right? It's Cade Cunningham. We have the best thing going in this town at the moment, and it is so damn exciting. He's an MVP. He's a legitimate NBA MVP candidate in a time where it's really hard to win NBA MVP. Skubal won Cy Young last year, and we've come close on some of these Lions, and in the NBA, it's hard to do.
Isaiah Thomas, I mean, this has to be the biggest.
Isaiah Thomas was never
guy that they
MVP.
drafted.
Isaiah Thomas was never an MVP, though. I mean, he was an MVP caliber player,
he
and he
could
was
have
an
been
NBA
MVP.
Finals MVP.
He was asked
Yeah.
to do what he did.
Yeah, this is the
Different
best thing
ad-
since
different
Isaiah
ad-
Thomas, by far. And he's Cade is he's 23. He's so classy.
Yeah.
He never says a bad word. He's doing this without getting calls, without getting foul calls, and he almost never complains. You never hear him bitch about it. When he does, he's doing it on the court, and he's right about it, by the way. He's right about all of his complaints. This has just been so much fun. It's made me sane. Watching the Pistons has made me feel so good and has made me sane, and I'm so excited. I'm happy. I don't want them to clinch a top 4 seed because I want them to play the Knicks. I want to see them play the Knicks while the world watches. I want Cade in Madison Square Garden because that's going to be
I agree with that.
outstanding.
So obviously you're excited.
Yeah.
Has the Pistons resurgence swayed you to watching basketball at all?
I watched them.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a reason for that. I like what they're doing.
You like the nostalgic?
Well, no, because they're going out of the norm. You know what? You can pull a lot of similarities to that going to work team. They play defense. I mean, of course, they're not playing 75-point games like they did, just playing defense like a mug. They're not doing that. They're mixing in. It's a good mix of defense and offense, and they play under control. I'd like to see them clean up the turnovers a little better, but I really think they got something with what they're doing. And you know what? Like I said, man, who's that GM kid that they got here?
Trajan Langdon.
Yeah, Langdon. He played at Duke. I know who he is. I'm not stupid, by the way. Hey, he played at Duke. Hello? You don't remember that? He was a guard at Duke.
I think I was too young to remember.
Oh, that was
Trajan
before
Langdon.
your time.
Yeah.
So anyway, they brought in the right guy. I think he's doing a really good job
Outstanding.
with using the assets that they had here. You know, it kills me to see the last 6-7 years of the Pistons here under that bullshit that this fucking idiot put on the court for the last 4 or 5 years was a joke.
We've known that as soon as Cade got here, that all they've needed to do was surround him with shooters. And his 3 biggest free agent signings were Tobias Harris, which a lot of people scoffed at because he was in Philly getting made fun of. Tobias Harris has worked out perfect.
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway Jr., who's shot the ball really well from 3 for them this year. And then Malik Beasley has panned out. Like, you're going to re-sign Malik Beasley. And there's also this culture that they've created.
Yes.
Like, I'm watching this video of Jaden Ivey run at practice this morning. He's sprinting on his broken leg because he can do weight bearing on it now. And Jalen Duren comes and starts running next to him. Like, they have this culture that reminds me of the Lions. Like, their aura and their, as the kids would say, their aura and their vibes are just so high. Like, these guys love each other. They love to play hard for each other. They're so selfless. It starts with Cade, right? Like, Cade's a legitimate superstar, and he's got no ego. Like, he's not like that. Like, he wants everyone else to do good. And Bickerstaff said it last week. He's like, it's very rare to find a player of his caliber that's getting better as fast as he's getting better, while also taking everyone else with him in the process.
Because to me, you know, the last coach they had here, this guy was in it for the fucking money. That was a joke.
Yeah.
And to have to play under somebody like him, I just really felt bad for Cunningham getting the hand he was dealt. It was like Matt Stafford here in the beginning of his career, playing under the garbage coaching you had.
That's
here.
a good comparison. That's a really good comparison. That's a good comparison. I'm excited. I can't stress that. Like, we're like that same vibe we got from the Lions 2 years ago, and that same vibe we got from the Tigers back in October. Like, I don't think we're gonna get a run. We're not gonna get a run out of the Pistons, but
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
yeah, they could easily win their first round. If it's Knicks, if it's anyone but the Bucks, if it's Knicks or Pacers, like, you're gonna get a really fun series that they're gonna have a shot to win, and it's gonna be physical and it's gonna be entertaining as all hell. And I'm excited.
Right.
Like, that's something we could look forward to.
I'm
end of
actually
April.
expecting them to do well in this year's playoffs.
Mhm.
To do well.
I think they could win a
Yeah.
series, and I think that's a massive thing if they win a series.
Well,
People
yeah,
want to
go
come
from
here.
winning
You
13
can get
games
Devin
to
Booker
winning,
this summer. If
winning a
that's the
series
case.
in the playoffs is huge.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I'm excited. I might actually turn on Pistons game now. Especially
Yeah,
with the
you need to
playoffs.
You need to
I need-
watch
I need to tune in
and
a
see
little bit.
exactly what we're talking about. It's a bunch of young guys that play with a lot of energy that are actually looking like a team now, not just
So much fun.
dude. They were so bad last year.
It's an entertaining brand
God.
of basketball. And you don't need to watch the NBA to appreciate the Pistons. And also, when they play good teams, they've somehow matched up well, except for the Nuggets kind of pumped them a couple weeks ago. But, like, they beat the Celtics earlier this year. They have the Cavs, I think.
Dude, I will
this
say
Friday,
this.
maybe?
Basketball's been hard to watch the last 5 years.
It's tough.
It really
It's
has
tough,
been.
yeah.
It's been hard to watch. It was borderline a joke. You know what it reminded me of? The All-Star games. Nobody plays defense. Everybody chucks up 40 shots. That's what it's been like the last 5 years, watching the NBA just crumble. You know, but I don't know.
Playoff run and a promising future for the Pistons.
I hope so.
Do we think the same for the hockey team from here?
No.
Promising future, but if in this town, that's not good enough. And for the way the last
Right.
over a half decade is shaped out, that's certainly not good enough. No. It's the wings.
Iserman is a fucking icon in this town, and it's really hard. I mean, the guy put together a championship team in Tampa. I mean, so you can't say he doesn't know what he's doing. Here's the bad thing though. Some of his free agent signings have been absolutely atrocious, and it just has not worked out. And the core guys that he's drafted and he's brought in here, I believe are decent. Are they championship caliber, that's yet to be seen, but I don't know. That's my opinion. I'm not a real hockey guy, but from what I see myself, he's shit to bet on free agency. And you know what? At some point, he's got to hold himself accountable for that.
So I have thoughts. Going back to what you started with about how he's an icon in this town. I had this conversation with someone earlier today. We do this thing around here where we deify people, and the context for it is long, but like Steve Yzerman has always been looked at like a god around here. Jim Harbaugh, Tom Izzo. We're doing it with Dan Campbell now. We used to do it with Stafford, and then we didn't do it with
Wayne
Stafford.
Fonts.
Wayne Fonts had God status for a second.
No, he didn't. Wayne Fonts had the crosshairs on him every other year.
And then there's people, there's people that are rightfully worthy of the God
Tom
status.
Izzo.
Like Tom Izzo is totally
He
deified.
could do no wrong.
Is totally deified. But like if you're a true Spartan fan and they don't make the Final Four this year, like wouldn't you be annoyed with that after all the expectations all year? It's the same with Michigan football. Like Michigan football always deified whatever was going on there. Like we have the best, and then they always choke, you know. And we've deified Steve Yzerman. Oh, the Yzer plan, this and that. Like
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson's. They lived up to that. And Miguel Cabrera, Justin Verlander. Like there's people that lived up to that deity status that we put on them. And then there's people that don't. And Steve Yzerman, the GM, is not living up to it. I think both can be true. It could be true that the Wings are like he's not doing a good enough job right now and he's messed up a lot, while also simultaneously that he has drafted well and he's got prospects in the pipeline and that the future could be bright. Like both could be true. What Uncle Sam said is kind of he hit the nail on the head. The free agent signings and then the poor trading, like the big one this year that everyone's talking about is they traded away Jake Wallman for nothing. They traded him away for a second-round pick. They gave him away, and they could use him this year. And not only that, but the team that they traded him to flipped him for a first-round pick. It didn't make any sense. And then another issue is Ole Mata got traded earlier this year. Like they could use him. His trades are poor. It almost feels like he doesn't know what he's doing a lot of the time. I think what's happening is he's trying to buy a little more time, and because Chris Ilitch is one of the worst owners in sports, like he's going to be able to do this. He's trying to bridge right now to that prospect pool, like actually hitting, and not just the guys he's gotten in the first round, because the Wings had historically bad draft lottery luck, historically bad. They never picked higher than fourth, which is bad, really bad. And I think for that reason, he's trying to retool this thing on the fly. But in the meantime, it could also be true that he's not doing a good job because he hasn't found a goalie. And you don't he's got two in the pipeline, Trey Augustin at Michigan State and Sebastian Kosa.
I was almost like, why don't they just bring these guys up here and let these guys fucking get
People think that with Kosa.
And I don't
People think
know
like, why don't you just let it happen with Kosa? And they should. Like, you have nothing to lose at this point.
Right.
They're just so far off that, like, it sucks because the last 2 years they got a tease of the playoffs, and I feel like if he had made the right moves, like they could have done it twice. Like last year, if he had fired, if he had fired Newsy Lalonde before, like maybe you have a shot at it this year. And then same with last year.
Yeah, and what if they would have fired him 3 weeks earlier?
3 weeks earlier, that you could be looking at. You might have 4 or 5 points that you don't have right now.
Correct.
There was a theory that people were making fun of, like that they should trade Dylan Larkin. Like if this drags on any longer, they should let Dylan Larkin leave this town to go win something.
Correct.
But I think that what we're looking at is I think the Wings are still a year or two away. It's gonna be tied to those goalies, and then some of this talent like taking a leap. Like Lucas Raymond took a leap this year. There's a chance Sider's had a down year, but like Sider and Edvinsson could look a lot better with a different goalie behind them. Like they could also take a leap. A lot needs to happen that isn't happening at the moment, and it's true that Steve Yzerman had his work cut out for him 100%, but it's also true
but
that
it's been how long?
it's been 7 years, 8
Fuck,
years.
man, come on.
It's also
Decade.
true that he's not doing enough, and there should be some pressure on Steve Yzerman.
Yeah.
100%. There should be some pressure.
Do you want to talk about the Four Nations thing real quick before we move on?
I mean, it was cool. We knew it would be cool. Did anyone watch? Did you watch that
No.
Four Nations space? The 2 United States Canada games were outstanding, and I
I remember when they dropped gloves and threw right in the beginning of it. Yeah.
wasn't that cool?
Well, yeah, I guess.
What do you mean you
The
guess?
Chucks?
Yeah, you know what, dude? I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I love international hockey more than the NHL. The bigger ice.
Yeah.
I love that shit. Gives these guys an actual real chance to play. You know.
So that was the best part about that tournament is
Yeah.
we hadn't had best on best hockey, I think, since 2016. The NHL did their own version of a World Cup. They've skipped the last couple Olympics, so it got a new generation of people involved. The players took it very seriously. Dylan
Yeah.
Larkin played great. Lucas Raymond played great. Canada was awesome. We have an Olympics next year.
Yeah, the Olympics is.
Are they bringing that back to the Olympics now?
The hockey players will be back at the
Okay.
next two Olympics at a minimum. So it's next year in Italy.
Because
and then
I
4
love
years.
the international ice is so
There's
big.
nothing
dude.
better. Yeah, so it's
I mean,
bigger
these
ice.
guys can really get out there and really generate some speed.
There's
Fuck,
nothing
dude.
better. No, there's
Yeah.
nothing better than the best on best hockey. It's to me, it's one of the highest levels of sports is Olympic hockey.
I personally didn't like the '90s hockey with the fighting and the fucking the Bob Probert, Joey Koser. Yeah, it was cool when you're 4 beers in, but when you're actually really trying to watch a game, you realize that it wasn't that cool. But I mean, because I think that takes away from the game. Personally,
I don't.
I
Disagree.
don't care for it.
I don't disagree.
I don't mind it. I mean, if something is going down and it's really warranted, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But just to throw to go, that's just stupid to me.
It is.
I think it takes away from the game. Huh?
Said it is a momentum boost if you.
Dude, listen to me. That is a
I'm saying if it's
physical.
needed.
It's a physical sport that you really don't need it in. And I get it, man. Tempers flare. That I understand when that shit breaks out. But just to do it's stupid. I never agreed with it. That was just my opinion. Just my opinion on it. Like I say, I'm not a hockey guy. I will never be the one to say, "Oh my God, Red Wings!" Wee. That's never going to be me. No.
You don't do that with any team.
Sorry.
You don't do that with any team. You even do that with the Lions.
And why don't you get back on a plane, dude?
I want to.
Fucking idiot. Anyway.
So we need to discuss one more team before we end today's show, and that is the Detroit Tigers. I'm just doing a little looking here. It looks like opening day this year is April 4th.
Opening day here. The Tigers play Thursday
Correct.
night.
Yeah, they play.
They play the
their first
Dodgers
game
tonight.
is in LA.
Yeah.
On Thursday. Yes. Yep. Oh no! Wait. Yeah.
Thursday night. It's
Thursday night.
opening day in LA. The baseball season started because the Cubs and Dodgers played in Tokyo.
Yeah.
That was a
That
legit
I didn't.
game.
I didn't care for that.
Yeah.
6 o'clock in the morning, they had fucking baseball on. I mean, come on, dude. Are you fucking serious, dude? They're trying this NFL international bullshit, dude. You know, I didn't care for that.
Pitching rotation has been finalized. It's Skubal, Flattery, Olson, Job, and Mize. Montero was sent down, and Medea is now in the bullpen. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, we were waiting for them to do the wrong thing with the rotation, and they nailed it. So Jackson Job is going to be starting here as a rookie. Really exciting.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
And
they
it
nailed
needed
it.
to be done.
They nailed it. And Casey, like all these people that had like major microscopes up their asses during camp had great spring trainings. Casey Mize added a new pitch and added velocity and has looked really good. Like his ERA was sub-2 during spring training, so he's worthy. And like having Casey Mize pan out could be massive for this team.
Yeah.
Because that was a number 1 overall pick, and he's just had all these problems. The other number 1
Injuries.
overall pick that's had problems is Torkelson. Torkelson like his WAR was higher and his WHIP was higher during camp, and he's made some adjustments. So if Torkelson could come out hot, that could be huge for them because he got a demotion. Like he lost first base. So, and then Javi Baez is back in the fold. I don't think we can expect more than like 230 or 240 out of him, but you get the defense, and if he can get some timely hits, like that veteran presence could be. He won a World Series. It could be very big for this
Yeah.
team. So
Yeah, I don't know how.
I feel better about the Tigers. There's some
Listen,
injuries.
you owe this guy so much money. What are you going to do? Dump him?
Parker Meadows is going to be out for the next month. It sounds like he's close. So there's some iffiness, but
I like him.
I love Parker Meadows. He's
Yeah,
probably one of my
he's a really
favorite
good
guys.
player. I thought he was their MVP going down to
Probably
last year.
the last
I really
month.
did.
There's a lot to like about the Tigers today. There's a lot like they're gonna have a shot. I don't think Cleveland's winning the division again. I think your biggest challenges are Minnesota and maybe the Royals. Cleveland was a one-off last year. The Tigers are gonna have a very legitimate shot to win this division if the pitching pans out.
So Bregman was the big name. Alex Bregman was the big name that was supposed to end up here. He ended up with the Red Sox, but the Tigers offered him a better deal, correct?
The Tigers offered him more money. So the Tigers, I believe, offered like 5 or 6 years and $160 million, and it ended up going. He ended up picking the Red Sox, who offered 3 with a higher annual average. He probably wouldn't have fit in here. He relies a lot on home runs. He's going to a really hitter-friendly park for righties. He can hit that green monster all the time, whereas here there's a lot of pop-outs. And it was a lot of money to make me uncomfortable, but they don't have a third baseman. Like, the third base is still, like, very much in flux right now. I think it's going to end up being, like, maybe someone will move. Like, maybe they can get Gleyber Torres to move. Like, I don't know. Maybe someone will end up moving, but it's definitely tricky. I don't think the Tigers had as active of an offseason as I'd like, but there is a lot to like still. Like, there's still, even without landing Bregman, like, who knows? Maybe someone will want to come here next year. You could spend on someone a little more proper next year.
You don't know. One of these young guys might step up and really do something too.
Yeah.
They all stepped up last year.
Well, they do have the number 1 ranked farm system.
They have the number 1 ranked farm system by far. They have like 3
They haven't done that
top
since
15
Dombrowski
prospects.
was GM here.
This is better than anything Dombrowski had too.
Dombrowski had a hell of a farm system.
And then he would go and trade them all away.
All right.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about the tie. I'm excited. I bought the FanDuel Sports Detroit, like, it's perfect timing because the Wings at the time were good, but we have a good Pistons team. We're about to have a Tigers team that made a playoff push last year. So April should be fun here with the Pistons and with the Tigers, and then I don't think the Wings are going to end up getting their heads out of their asses, unfortunately. But there's a lot to like about what's going on here right now.
We're better luck next year in the Red Wings.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're better luck next year in the Red Wings. God bless them. Pistons are exciting. Tigers are hopeful, and obviously, there's the book is still not finished on the Lions yet. So I think that I'm excited to start talking about draft with you guys.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. We gotta wait till
running
April.
a mock while we sit here.
We gotta wait till April. We'll start talking about draft in April.
I want them to really
Defense.
The defense needs to get fixed.
Defense.
And
I'm going to tell you right now, if they want to take a guy like a linebacker, I don't have an
Your
issue.
boy Jihad Campbell is
love
very much going to
Campbell.
be in the mix, and he's going to be a good football player.
You know why? Because he could do it all.
Because he's crazy.
You could put him as a pass rusher. You could put it. To me, those players are more valuable than trying to pay some fucking free agent a boatload of money to come here. Free agents just don't do shit when they come here.
I'm running a 3-round mock right now, and we're on the clock right now. So pick 28. A lot of guys are gone. Luther Burden's best available. I'm on Pro Football Focus, by the way.
Okay.
Luther Burden's best available. James Pierce is second. Colston Loveland is third. Gray Zabel, that tackle guard from North Dakota State. Derek Harmon, who the Lions have talked to. And Nick Scourton, all there. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else.
They talked to him too,
They did talk to Scourton.
and James Pierce.
how many times do you think they've run this same shit? You think they're just sitting there doing this all day long?
I think they look at mocks.
They just
I
sit
do.
there and do this shit
I
all
think
day
they
long.
look at him just to see scenarios and
Scenarios,
see who's there.
scenario building, and then if you read like a local guy's mock, like someone who follows a team, like you might be able to get insight on what they might be thinking for said team. So it might be a
Correct.
program. Who are we taking here though? Burden, Pierce, Loveland, Zabel, Harmon, Scourton. Pick a name.
Pierce.
I would take Pierce.
Pierce. We're in agreement. Okay, we're working. We're almost there. Pick.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Loveland is a weapon. If he's
Yeah.
fucking healthy, dude.
I don't know.
That's a
I agree. I don't know if I want to spend a first on a tight end.
That's
though.
I know.
That's
I
a luxury pick.
But you know what? You can get guys.
That's
in
a
that-
Chiefs
that-
pick to replace
In that
Kelsey.
second and third round, there's also that kid, that Arroyo kid from Miami, is really he blew up the senior.
You know who
bowl.
I want here, and God knows he's probably not that high up on the list, but
For round 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Demetrius Knight from South Carolina, who I think they've also talked to him as well. Linebacker Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State, Shamar Turner, an interior guy from A&M, Elijah Arroyo, Ariante Azure, who if they want to take a tackle, I don't like him very much. Omar Norman Lott from Tennessee, and then Kyle Kennard from South. Josiah Stewart, who I know they've actually talked to on 3 separate occasions now, from Michigan is on here as well. But I think we should just go.
I just don't think he fits their mode. He's not
small
long enough.
He's small.
Yeah.
He's small, but it's weird that they've talked to him as much as they have. I think they're thinking Josiah Stewart, the Sam linebacker.
Drop him back.
I think they would put him. I think they would take him. Like he would be on the line sometimes, but then he would come off the line. Like they wouldn't get him as that tried and true edge rusher opposite Hutchinson. They'd get him to play a role on the team. That's my thinking. I don't want him in the first 2 rounds. Can I go Demetrius Knight here or Shamar Turner? Which one do you guys want? Linebacker or D tackle?
I would go Knight. I just think he's more valuable.
He's
D
ranked
tackle.
33rd.
You signed Lopez because you don't think that McNeil's going to be ready. So that's where he goes.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going Demetrius
So
Knight.
you would have to go.
Done.
Listen, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole here, but
Sawyer went the pick before that in that mock, by the way.
Listen, high school, Barnes, Rodriguez. Let's be honest, dude. These guys would not be starting for anybody else.
And
Let's be honest, dude.
Yeah, and there's some names at wide receiver that I love.
Is
here.
my guy there?
I like Arroyo.
Is he gone?
Which one's your guy?
He's from Stanford.
I like
One
Arroyo.
second, I'll tell you.
Elik.
Elminor, yeah.
Yeah. That's my guy. That's my sleeper of this draft.
He's gone at this point, but there's 3 guys that I love that are sitting here right now.
I like the Arroyo kid.
He's gone. We're at pick 103.
Oh.
So I see Tez Johnson from Oregon, who's really good, but he's small. He's tiny.
Yeah, you see, you don't need another slot guy.
Oh my goodness! They
Anthony-
met with him.
With Elminor?
Yeah.
They did. They met with him at the draft.
Yeah.
They did. Anthony Belton from NC State. Sebastian Castro, the safety from Iowa, who's good. Harold Fannin, who the Lions would have saw a lot. He's the tight end from Bowling Green.
Yep.
Tez Johnson, like I mentioned. The name that I love here. Oh, there's 2 names. There's a name that the Lions love as well. The name that I love here at wide receiver is Isaiah Bond from Texas.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be very good. But there is there's a name that's been coming up a lot recently that the Lions, I heard, might even take a flyer at in the first round. He's a DN from UCLA, Olafamwe Elajadeo.
Yeah.
They've been talking to him a lot, and he's on here. If they want to go DN, he's big. He's a big boy. Let me look him up. I think he's like 6'5".
Ooh.
Yeah, he's big people.
Big people.
Yeah.
Not to say that Josiah Stewart can't rush the passer, because he probably can.
No, he very
But
much.
the problem, he's a lot like the one they had in here that they just got rid of.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, they're about the same size.
Yep.
Probably the same.
James Houston.
The same skill set. And I just don't think that works good in today's game.
Those
Those days of having 6 foot tall defensive ends are over.
They'll take him, but they're not going to take him to play to set. They're not going to take him to set the edge. Like whoever's on the other side is going to be like 6'3" would be small for that person. Like they're going to be someone 6'4" or taller. They're going to be an animal.
Well, if you're going to run this 4-3, I don't know if that's what they're going to do. I don't know when they're going to decide to try to move to a 3-4. I doubt it. But
I took Isaiah Bond, just so you guys know.
Isaiah Bond in the 3rd. But that was our Detroit sports recap.
yeah, well,
And
what it is.
well,
we'll go through this mock shit.
oh yeah, we're gonna listen. All of April is gonna be nothing but mock draft.
We'll start every show with a mock,
mock draft,
between now
yeah.
and the draft.
Next week we're gonna come back. We're gonna recap all the rest of NFL free agency outside of our Detroit Lions because a lot has happened. And then after that, we're in April, and it's time to start really diving deep into the draft.
Yep.
Other than that, Bruce, you got anything to add?
Nope.
Uncle Sam, do you have anything to add?
No.
Zolo?
I'm happy to be back. If you guys want to play pickle, let me know.
Should we do tip pickle? You want to do tip pickle?
No.
You don't think you could pickle? Do you think
No,
Uncle Sam could pickle?
I have my own
100%.
game of
I've
pickles
seen-
You
that
could
I
pick-
play, and
I've seen
play with
people
your own
triple his
one.
size and double his age.
one-on-one with my own pickle.
Did you just hear? He said he's seen people double your size and triple your age playing pickle.
So I'm not playing pickle, dude.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. Make sure to follow our socials, Instagram and Twitter at Tip Balls, TikTok at Tip Balls Podcast. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, you can check us out and watch us live on YouTube and TikTok. We will be back next Monday with the NFL free agency recap. Until then, check out our socials. We'll see you next Monday.